don't stop. Don't listen to people. Keep going, drive through it, pound it through. And the collateral damage that's going to be done, who cares?
Mm.
It's your life. Go forward. To me, that's the biggest thing I've learned in life. If I had $1 for every no, I'd be in the Caribbean island on an 800-foot boat.
Yeah.
So
welcome to Extraordinary Stories. I'm your host, Forbes Shannon, and with me,
Christine Butler.
And in studio today, this is, when we talk about building community, there's so many different things that exist for high-performing leaders, and one of them was AZ Tech Week, which was last week. And what I really appreciated of AZ Tech Week, which was powered by the Arizona Commerce Authority, was how they were able to bring people into our scene that either were returning or were kind of a new face. And one of the guests that we found at AZ Tech Week is an accomplished CEO. He calls himself a mercenary for hire.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy stories, but we met him at AZ Tech Week in his return to the Valley, Michael Tribolet.
Welcome.
thank you very much. I'm absolutely happy to be here.
I'm
excited to be here. It was a great week, and I got to meet some really cool people like
It
you guys.
was.
It's your fault, but it was awesome.
Yes. We both were able to meet you at different events, funny enough, because there were so many events. And, it's a nomination-only podcast, and we nominated you because we could tell that you had some really good bits that would be great for our listeners to hear. And I guess I want to start with, what was it about Tech Week that brought you out?
I think one of the things that was most interesting were a lot of the industries that are here. It's not just one industry, it's multiple. And then it's, you've got AI now touching, automation and everything. So it was just a great dichotomy of people at the event.
Yeah. I mean, you were definitely sticking out like a sore thumb. I come out of the bathroom area and he goes, Chris, like he knows me because I have a little name. I'm like, oh my God. No, I love meeting people like you because you never know what you're going to get.
True. Very
So
true.
here we are.
Yeah.
We're gonna get deep. All right.
Life's like a box of chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get into it.
Well, and the kind of experiences that you get are colored by the places you've lived, and you've lived a lot of different places. You've just returned recently to Arizona, but before that, you were in Brooklyn.
Correct.
How was that?
It was awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, you just walk downstairs, you got every type of food, you got every type of people, subway, and you're in New York City in 15 minutes. You got massive parks. It's kind of a really interesting melting pot of people and culture and things to do.
Yeah. Well, now that you're back in Arizona, what are your plans?
Basically, right now, like you said, mercenary for hire. So I'm looking at a bunch of different telecom companies right now that are putting AI in and directional. And then there's some of the cell phone providers, whether it's Samsung or others, that are looking for people to kind of come in and scale consumer businesses for them. So,
well, tell our listeners about your background in telecom.
Yeah, so my background actually began here in Phoenix. We connected all the mainframes. We were a 3270 cluster controller. Now we're getting technical. In front of mainframes that would hook up to hundreds of thousands of people and customers for Daimler-Benz, Mercedes-Benz, De Beers Diamond Mines. And we exploded those. From there, I went to Silicon Valley, got recruited in to scale a company called Dialpad. It was the very first PC to phone. That was where I got into the
Very cool
consumer. We blew that up, sold it to Yahoo. I get a call from a gentleman that's just became a billionaire on online day trading. And he said, come to Vonage. I'm like, what the hell is Vonage? He goes, voice on the net age. I'm like, okay, that's original. So I flew, ran out operations. We built it from zero to $1 billion of annual revenue in 4 years. That's my hat hair. But we really fundamentally changed how telecommunication was going to be delivered to the consumer. And then from that, I got recruited out to go run a European telco out of Amsterdam. Any question you ask me, I'm just going to say yes to Amsterdam. But we basically were the CLEC, or competitive local exchange to the incumbent. So we were all through all Europe, Poland, all the way down through Spain. Then my next opportunity came from it was called Magic Jack. I just called it Magic Crack. It was just you plug in a USB port and it becomes your phone system. So they had 10 million customers, came in, helped them.
Wow.
Then that's when I ended up in Brooklyn doing an IPTV play, basically scooting video around for different communities.
Okay.
So
wow. Right on.
Then thought I was retired, came to the show, and now you guys got me working again. So,
Well, how's it feel working again?
no, I feel, it's good. It's you always want to be relevant at something, and then I've got a lot of experience, so I can help startups. I can get plugged into companies that want to expand or need everything. So
yeah, for sure. You strike me as a guy that wouldn't retire.
I don't think I can. I got it from my father. My father was a veterinarian for racehorses, so through his whole entire career, he kept doing that. But then even towards the end, he was doing the buying and selling of horses into Dubai and South America to California. So it's just rooted in our blood, family blood.
Do you ride horses?
No. I've done that one time. I tell you what, one time I did at Arlington Park. I got on a thoroughbred. It started to take off.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going 60 miles an hour on a 1,200-pound animal.
Yeah,
and if you just pull a little bit, it goes one way or the other. That's when I realized these jockeys they're athletes.
They're athletes.
Yeah. Sure. They're in close quarters. And I retired immediately from horse riding at that point.
So you were one and done.
One and done.
Okay.
Yeah. That was an amazing experience that I never want to do again.
What other amazing experiences do you never want to do again? And to give you some time to think about it, I got one. I smoked weed in Amsterdam and then got on a bike during rush hour. Dude, bike rush hour is like a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. And then you've got the trolleys that go through. So on a
Wait a
bike.
minute. So I need a visual here. So you're riding like in a street.
It was my first panic attack.
Yeah. Oh, I would agree. And then bear in mind the train tracks that are there. So if a wheel gets in it, you're done. You're going over the handlebars.
It was the most stressful bike ride of my life.
Oh.
And the other thing is like, it's pleasant in Amsterdam because you hear all the bike.
The
bike
bells. Ding, 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 ding.
And then a local was like, you don't understand. That's a car horn. Like they are pissed.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like.
You're just like.
And bear in mind, they're all tall. So everyone in Amsterdam is like 6'10". So it's a big human being that's on a bike that's going to crash into you. And the most disturbing thing that I've ever seen, and he's still there, is a guy every day. He's 6'9".
Wow.
He rollerblades in a thong bathing suit. It's the most disturbing sight you've ever seen of a guy that tall right through Bondo Park every morning. He's still there probably going through.
Wow, a man in routine. I love it.
Yeah, no, he was reliable, but
He was reliable.
But yeah, it was like, woof.
Yeah.
Okay, so
hold on. The question was an experience that it was like, that's fun. Never going to do that again.
Peggy Gao, female DJ, Amsterdam, just got in the middle of when the Dutch won the World Cup soccer.
Wow. Okay.
Experiencing some of the local herbs. And the mass of people made a big push when the helicopter brings them in. And it was a big push to get everyone trying to get close. So now you're in a crowd of a couple 100,000 people getting smashed.
That's terrifying.
And you're on a different planet. So,
my anxiety.
Yeah, it was it was uncomfortable. That's the most uncomfortable I can think of. Just remember that experience. Like next time, stand in the back.
Yeah.
Watch the helicopter come down. Don't need to be in the mix.
Yeah. Front row is a young person's game.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%. 100%.
And I'm maturing because I realized recently, like, I don't need to be in the left lane all the time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm in and out. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, but it can be fun. It can be fun.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah.
So like, following along on that analogy, how do you balance this high performance, like the work hard, play hard with living long? Yeah.
So in our industry, it's always, sleep's, overrated. You'll be doing 13 to 15 hour days, 7 days, because telecom's 24/7.
Yeah.
So you're constantly going. And I think that the drive to basically make innovation happen is really that narcotic that says, okay, I can do this. Because when I'm told I can't do something, I'm in the right place.
You're going to do it.
Yeah. I'm coming like bat out of hell right through the middle of the China shop, with the baseball bat.
It is interesting that, the being told, right? Like our founder, Aaron Bear, right? He, there was a teacher that told him he'd never mount anything.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the motive. He dedicated his best-selling book to her, just to be
Oh,
like, hey,
absolutely.
thanks for telling me. You gave me the drive to get here. So I'm curious, like, was there a moment maybe when you were younger or like earlier in your career where someone said you can't do it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I put it this way. I was an athlete, went to Brophy here in town.
Okay.
I was a good distance runner. So everyone said, you'll never blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, long story short, I run track for University of Kansas. So
Wow.
I'm
Cool.
a miler,
Uh-huh.
2-miler, steeplechase, that kind of stuff. So you just learn that when they're told not to do something or you can't, just hit it head on, go forward. And it's like dial pad before everything. Oh, it's never going to amount to anything. I don't know. We sold it to Google. It becomes
Right.
the voice through Google's network. Vonage, if I had $1 for every time people said that wasn't going to work, I would be on an island throwing coconuts at monkeys. That's what I think, that's the drive. When you have that drive, you'll just continue to relentlessly go at it. Yeah, because failure is okay because you're learning from it. You're learning not what to do so that you can go. So I've failed so many times, and that's what thrusted my career is through those failures.
Yeah, well, and you were mentioning being uncomfortable, all right, in that crowd. I believe that uncomfortability is what creates that drive, right?
It does,
That's where
because
the
it's
fun
an
happens.
anxious, like, oh man, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to put myself out there.
Yeah.
Those things are really the driver. They are.
Mhm.
You're right, 100%.
Napoleon Hill says something like, fear can't exist when action is there. Like, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's that fear is there and you still do it anyway.
Oh yeah, no, you got to look into the abyss and go after it.
Mhm.
It's I can't explain it any differently than
Mhm.
that. It's um when the impossible can become possible.
Yeah. So my follow-up question to that is, what's something that you were afraid of, or what's like a new fear that you're conquering now?
Great question. I think at the beginning when I got into the computer networking business, I didn't know if I could do it because I thought, oh, it's too technical, it's over my head. I'll stay on the product side. But then all of a sudden I began to realize the power of the products and then began to build my career around that. So as we built the mainframe network for Daimler-Benz, we began to realize you can now get into satellite communications, you can get into wireless microwave communication.
Right.
So it's the expandability of going into the abyss and then you just opening your brain because no one knows everything. I don't care who you are. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Forbes has this saying, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know shit either, but I think if you put effort, you'll learn. And it's by the mistakes you learn what not to do.
Sure.
It's not you could have 20 wins, 1 loss, but that 1 loss will fundamentally drive you in a different direction.
The methodology behind the statement, like my thesis for the book, I don't know shit, that's coming out, is the closer I've been to certainty, the closer I've been to my own destruction.
Oh, absolutely.
When I was like, hey, this is how this is going to work, never worked that way. So it's more of a thing of like, how can I be more curious?
I think curiosity, the only thing you gotta be careful, curiosity did kill the cat. but curious, but curiosity can drive you. And when you have drive, it's the difference between someone that's gonna make it and not. So, it's just just keep going, don't listen to anybody except your mother.
Yeah.
Listen to your mother.
Yeah, your mother's the only one that really counts. But man, I didn't listen to my mom until I got these tattoos, and then I heard an ear.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
Yeah. She's got.
Oh, you
it.
got Vonage on your tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Well,
it's
and
a-
all of them, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the 4 nodes of the internet, and then these are the companies I founded. All
wow. Okay.
So
Very cool. How long did that take?
probably it took about 3 sessions. Each one were about 4 hours because
Wow.
the guy was very meticulous.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the next? You can get next.
Great question. I don't know. I thought about getting a heart and then having a computer wrapped around it. I don't know how.
Oh.
That's a whole different.
That's intricate.
Yeah, that's a different thing. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to tempt fate. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm
Sure.
open.
Yeah.
Just don't want to do it at Miami at 4 a.m.
Fair.
Were you afraid when you started?
Starting business or my tattoo?
Either one.
Both. Yeah. I mean, you always fear because you've got to realize everything is a step that's uncomfortable. And if you're taking a step in the uncomfortable, you're in the right direction and you don't know the outcome.
Yeah.
You know, you can predict, you can think, but you got to be able to adjust. And that's the hardest thing is being prepared for that adjustment because you don't know when it's going to come.
Yeah. How do you use your discernment between a bad idea, and maybe a fun idea?
Great question.
Yeah. You guys are making my brain think. I think like right now, I think what AI is an example. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate AI into telecom into a way that's not two-dimensional. Because right now you've got your phone, you got your service. But why can't it be one? Why can't Samsung build it into the phone to get better hooks, to get better information? Because think about it, AI just spits back what it thinks, not
Right.
what you really want.
Right.
Mm.
So you can guide it, but you can't use it sometimes to get there. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So like if it's integrated into your phone, it kind of knows you on a deeper level.
It follows you.
Right.
It knows where your gas station
It
is.
becomes
It
you.
knows it knows what you're buying at the grocery store. You know, what's going on Friday night? Where's Peggy? You know, all
Right.
these.
Yeah. Where's Peggy?
Where's Peggy? I want to find Peggy.
Where's Peggy?
Right.
Well, but then my brain goes to Big Brother. Do I want all of that?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So I always ask people, what's Big Brother going to do with your information? How is it going to fundamentally affect you?
Yeah.
You know, I think it's good in certain areas. It is invasive, but you're electing to use it. So knowing that you're going to be in the big brain and the brain's going to know everything, it's okay. You know, typically it's people that are hiding stuff.
Yeah.
Like their
Right.
boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. When they're hiding them, they don't want AI.
Right.
Like that's where you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Those are the negativity.
How close do you think are we to the singularity?
2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Damn.
It's coming.
So you say 2 to 3 years. Does that change the way we operate as a society, right?
Yes.
Like laws.
Yes. It'll change laws. It's gonna, and it's like you look at like the FCC, we always said in telecom, regulation is based on blood. Somebody has to die, and all of a sudden, here's this new regulation. Not to say AI has to kill somebody, but it's going to evolve. And I think kids are going to get, no, you know what? Kids are going to get smarter.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and it's going to allow them to research an interest. It's going to allow them to get education on what they want.
Well, hold on. Let's go on the counterpoint of that. Like, I think my generation got stupider. You know,
I agree.
Well, stupider is not a word, so I'm going to say. I just
spell that. Let's go for a spelling.
I'm
Spell
such an asshole. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, but it is going to make people stupid, but it is going to make things more on an even playing field because we've had as a society, we have these classes, and there's such a dichotomy of diversity. 2 words.
I like it.
But I think that it allows somebody to elevate, but it also allows somebody to understand. That's the big gap I think exists today in society.
Elevate and understand.
Yes.
Right. Because you can't, you don't want one or the other. You want both.
You want both. Yeah. Because it's the only way you're going to grow as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the world's too divisive. I mean, it's so divisive right now.
Well, there's a lot of money to be made on divided people.
Well, that's a great statement.
Yeah. Well, somebody else was saying I can't take.
Oh yeah. Okay.
that was Paul Johnson on the podcast said that.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul.
Yeah. And so, singularity, if we're sticking on the theme of division, singularity literally means like the merging of human and technology. Do you think that will help humans come together more or further divide us?
I think bring us together. And, you've got Neuralink and things like that, that now they're implanting the things into your spine and your brain. I think those things gives a fundamental understanding. And because so many people are culturally and ethnically divided, I think that it has the best opportunity because there's no emotion.
Yeah.
Once the AI removes that emotion, all of a sudden now you're thinking. And that thinking allows you to be more open. some people may take it where it's going to be very closed and divided, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's going to, you want to know more about a culture. You want to know more about why the person did that. You want to know how a person did that. So you can get that depth that never really existed.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. And I like to think of World War II, right?
Oh,
We big jump there.
Yeah.
But back then we didn't have the singularity where we're all connected, right? So it took us a month to find out what they were doing in Germany or in those areas, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now it'll take us a second to know, right?
Oh.
So it changed us already on that sense, right? Now take it another couple of years or, what about the war of who's going to succeed in AI first, right? Because whoever has control over top AI kind of can control the world. So you have all these different sections of the world who want to be first.
Absolutely. I think China right now is probably, they want to lead everything
Right.
from the space race to the AI race and, human. You've got 1 billion people in China.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have a very large community of people driving one way. That's the force that, always is, they want to have the influence.
Right.
So let me ask you this question as a guy in telecom, because I saw the picture of the Earth at night and how dark North Korea was.
Oh, yeah. It's the best place to see the stars.
Are they really that cut off?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They're literally, because I've done a bunch of stuff in China, they will terminate at the border. Literally, there used to be fiber. They've just sliced it. They don't care. They do not care. And they won't care. So when you have a dictator like that, they can ensure it happens or people just go missing, So it's a very crazy thing. And speaking of space, my name is on a plaque on the Webb telescope.
No way.
So it's all the way out. So I'm all the way out in space. So when the aliens come, they're gonna look.
Yeah, they're gonna look for you.
Yes.
So they're gonna look up extraordinary stories, and we're next, Forbes.
Yeah, you guys are next. But yeah, no. So I'm fascinated by space and the things that are coming back now. Not only the astronauts just came back, but the things we're beginning to see. Can't say we're alone, but there are some very dynamic things going on out there that would suggest there's got to be. I don't care if it's algae or something else growing on another planet.
Yeah.
Does the space of the universe ever help you when you're going through a problem?
Yeah, because it's infinite. So, there's infinite possibilities. There's infinite amount of space. And I think the best thing to do is just gravitate towards your own sphere of understanding and stay in that lane. Don't get outside your lane unless it's such a topic that you need to get out, then get out. I mean, that's, I hate to say there's libraries around the corner. There's a ton of research you can go find online.
Yeah.
So you've got to be able to be the ability to absorb, make your own opinion, and then be able to voice it. That's the other thing. People sometimes cannot voice. They want to say this, but they end up over here.
Yeah.
You know?
Or sometimes they just get past the thinking and absorption and just go right to voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And today, with today's society, it's brutal.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's people out there saying stuff and you're like, okay, Batman, let's take a step back.
Yeah.
What's in the bat cave that's
Yeah.
made you think that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have a process of like checks and balances of thought to,
That's a good question.
you know, like to until it actually comes out of your mouth? Because sometimes I'll see it and I'm like, I
Catch
don't
it
know how I
back.
got that one through.
Yeah. How do I pull that back now?
Oh yeah, all the time.
No, I think it's important, especially as a CEO of like a big company, like we had 5,000 employees. If I said that's green, all of a sudden that's green.
Right.
Mm.
So you have to be careful in what you say, but also you have to have forethought to go deep into your own thought.
There's responsibility.
Yeah, there is, and there's accountability.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, so you've got to be able to do that. And it's kind of like my diary and things like that. I'm well prepared that I try to see a 360 view around every issue
I
because
like that.
yeah, you have to, because two people aren't alike. And then if you get into 1,500 people, 5,000 employees, all of a sudden it's a different dynamic to run a
Mhm.
company.
You know, I think like on that point that you were just talking about, Abraham Lincoln said, I would rather have my mouth shut and be considered an idiot than speak out loud and have it known for certain. You know, right?
No, I get that.
So-
The silent ones always scare me in the room anyways. So when you're
You
in a
gotta keep it
meeting,
mysterious.
yeah, they're like, that person is scheming on thought to just run you over.
Mhm.
And that's like I always say, it's not the guy, because you already know the guy yelling and screaming or the person.
Mhm.
Okay, I got you figured out. You scare me.
Right. Yeah,
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 it's the
yeah.
quiet ones.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So as it relates to that, like, how do you temper yourself to just like find yourself and be like, this is out of my lane. I'm not like, how do you decline?
Got to have your Zen moment. And
Okay.
that Zen moment is you've got to stop, think, do your best to figure out the parameter of what it is
Uh-huh.
and know, can you cross into that other side, or are you going to have to stay on your side of the fence? So once you do that, then that's the hardest thing as any executive, is finding that team of people you can relinquish things to. And once you have that, you'll move a mountain together, because
Right.
an individual will just climb a hill.
Mm.
Group will get over the mountain. So really that's when you find yourself, like there's a group of people I have usually that go with me into companies, my finance, my marketing,
Yeah.
sales, and all that. So, but we all think alike. So we all have that respect for one another and know, hey, that's a problem. He's going to take care of it. She's going to get that. And
Mhm.
she's good at that.
So I guess my question is, I don't know how to. This is going to be
Ask
left
it.
turn. Were you a good test taker?
You know, yeah, I was good like at the SATs. I don't know why,
Uh-huh.
but I found it intriguing, because once you figured out the pattern,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
you can, once you know the
Yeah.
pattern of the questions, okay, now I know where they're
I
going.
know what you're looking for.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
neither I'm going to get there because I want to get there, or I want to play with you.
Yeah.
So but there's always a pattern in everything.
Always. Yeah.
It's a rhythmic ability to say, okay, go with the flow or create the new tidal wave over here.
What do you like better, flowing or tidal wave?
Waves are funner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, no, because it's the hard ones that you've got to figure out.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's more challenging. I like to be challenged. The status quo, okay, great. Anyone can do that. But here's what separates you from, the animals in the kingdom.
So part of the tidal wave is that it disappears before it comes.
Oh,
right?
100%.
So yeah, like how in the tidal waves of your life, how did you disappear before you like arrived?
I like data, because the data around things will allow you to pull back,
Okay.
but it also shows you're going to go forward. So when you see the data on issues, and a lot of times people are inconsistent, and that's the hardest part, because it drives leaders crazy. Like, we need to do this, or we should do it that way, but you don't see it. So you've got to find a way to hammer it into them, for lack of a better term, to get them to go in that direction. So, but yeah, again, like you said, the tidal wave pulling in and out, that part is the vortex that separates successful companies from unsuccessful companies.
Is the data the Zen?
It is, because the data doesn't lie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an interest. It doesn't have an emotion. It just says you're either ahead, in the middle, or behind.
Mm. So, but I'm curious, like, data and, working in technology
Mhm.
your whole life, where does the emotion and the art come in, like the nuance of that to make it matter?
I think when you see, especially on the direct to consumer, when you begin to see consumers using it, but you see a pattern. Like at Vonage, we knew there was a group that would call 220 minutes a month.
Mm-hmm.
We knew their pattern. We knew why they bought the service. We knew how they bought it. And then you just spray $50 million of marketing towards that group, and all of a sudden you just watch it go.
Yeah.
There's other groups, okay, they're there, but they're not going to expand any further. You just kind of tapped into it. You kind of leave those alone. So go where the flow is, go where the positivity is, and blow it up.
Can you remember some of those things, though, some of those patterns in those users of like why they were calling?
Yeah, we saw a lot of
220 minutes?
international, even though you were making local calls because we had local numbers associated with the box.
Yeah.
We began to realize India was like one of the largest communities
Mhm.
getting our service. There was a lot in Europe, and there was a lot in South America. And you could see like Florida to New York was Puerto Rico to Bolivia. It was one of these like Bolivia.
Okay. All right.
And then you began to see regional things happen through the process. And then the other thing was like 911, which is a whole nother animal to throw
Right.
at the mix. And
Because it
then-
was like non-local 911.
yeah, it was called PSAPs. I don't ask me.
This is just coming from my
Public-
memory of Vonage commercials as a kid after school. You
Oh
know?
yeah, well thank you for remembering them.
Yeah.
So we build that triangle of $29.99 unlimited calling. So once you have that triangle, kind of like in basketball,
Yeah.
you just keep going to it until it doesn't produce anything anymore.
Mm-hmm. And so, as technology has shifted, right?
Mhm.
Like Vonage had, I don't know, did you know that like that technology was going to have like kind of a shelf life?
It did, and that's why we began to integrate it into phones.
Okay.
So because we knew the device was not going to be there that long, so we began to integrate it, whether it was a soft app or we work with like Samsung and a couple of other to embed it into the chipsets. Because once you're in the chipsets, they just plug it, they build the hooks around it to then provide the service. So yeah, it would definitely, and it was a pattern we could see coming.
So did you have to make peace with that? Like I'm asking for our listeners, like who maybe there's someone who politely might be delusional
There's a lot of delusional people
in their in how long their solution is going to be around and be viable.
Yeah, it's innovate or die. That was that's my next tattoo. Innovate or die.
All right. Okay.
Because if you're not innovating, you're falling behind. Your competitors are pulling up. They're running right over you. That's where you see the value in the creation. Because at the end of the day, we're all in business to either sell it or make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And either way, you've got to innovate or die. That was our big saying internally. So that's what drove it. And listening to your customers. Your customers will guide you because they're using your service and they're going to do oddball things every now and then. And all of a sudden you see 200,000 people doing the same thing.
So that's, I love that because I'm curious, like in the personal life, what is the customer equivalent of people in your personal life that you need to listen to?
Yeah. No, you've got to listen to your closest friends because they're going to be the most honest. They're going to be brutally honest.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be. And then your family, because your family's the one they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. And so between that and your friends, you begin to realize the pattern of, okay, we can do that. We can make that happen. So by doing that with your closest customers also, and we use retail a lot. So we knew why people were going to Best Buy. We knew why people were going to the other stores. So we could then tailor, even though we had one product, one service, we had 12 different party lines, so to speak, going out.
So who are some of the people you listen to in your life?
You too. No, I follow, you got to follow Elon Musk just because he's nuts, but he will make it happen. I mean, how many people thought we'd be driving around electric cars?
So true.
Right.
True.
And he's out there. He's got some political views and personal views and friendships that are woof. But, he's one. There also, I like to read, there's a tech blog out of TechCrunch every day on the innovation. So right now it's all about AI.
Yeah.
So, and there's a couple other people, I won't mention their names, are halfway crazy, but they're pulling it off.
Okay.
I don't want to say anybody.
Halfway crazy, but they're pulling it up. Yeah. You always got to be a little crazy.
Yeah, right? No, you have to have that gene. It's got it because it's the little tickler in the back of your brain going, hey, dummy, make it happen. So,
yeah.
So you've given so much good advice today, but if you had to give one piece of advice to our listeners on how they could live more extraordinarily today, what would it be?
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't listen to people. Keep going, drive through it, pound it through. And the collateral damage that's going to be done, who cares? It's your life. Go forward. To me, that's the biggest thing I've learned in life. If I had $1 for every no, I'd be in the Caribbean island on an 800-foot boat.
Yeah.
So, don't stop. Don't listen and be true to yourself. Be honest, with yourself. Those are the way I live and how I recommend.
You can read more about Michael at joinextraordinary.com. That's joinextraordinary.com and at joinextraordinary on all of our socials. I'm Forbes Shannon.
I'm Christine Butler.
I'm Mike Tribolet.
Yeah.
Like Chevrolet, but more dependable.
Oh, there you go.
Dun, dun.